Well, I think here you point out to one really of the basic defects of our system. That the
Wake the fuck up, Wallace. End of part 1.
individual has very little possibility of having any influence, of making his opinion felt in the decision making. And I think that in itself leads to a good deal of political lethargy and stupidity. It is true that
He
one
just called you
has to
stupid.
think first and then to act.
General
But it's also true that if one has no possibility of acting, one's thinking kind of becomes empty and stupid.
Let's talk about the man in relation to his love, his marriage.
Well, I would say love is something everybody talks about, and the need for love is one of the
We'll
most
just change
basic
the subject.
needs of man, namely the experience of union with another being, of becoming one with another being. And yet I would say that love today is a relatively rare phenomenon, that we have a great deal of sentimentality, we have a great deal of illusion about love, namely as something one falls in, but the question is that one cannot fall in love really, one has to be in love, and that means that loving becomes, and the ability to love, becomes one of the most important things in life.
But why is it so difficult for us to be in love as human beings? What is wrong with us, as you say?
Narcissism.
Because we are concerned with things, we are concerned with success, we are concerned with money, we are concerned with instrumentalities. And the most important things we talk about on Sundays are things to which we pay very little attention.
That everything's empty.
Love is not easy. All great religions postulate love as one of the greatest accomplishments. If it were that easy, or as easy as most people think, certainly the great religious leaders would have been rather naive.
Well,
it can't be
you
based on
what
memory.
We think about, or what we talk about anyway on Sundays. What about man in relationship to his religion?
Change the subject
I think
again?
here we find the same phenomenon.
So nothing goes
We have
anywhere.
a religious renaissance today in America, as many people say. I would say this religious renaissance, 90% of it is the greatest danger true religious experience has ever been confronted with.
Why?
Because what is attempted in this so-called religious renaissance is kind of a mixture between Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Be Successful, and the norms of the Bible, of the Old and the New Testament, and in a kind of clever and sometimes not so clever way. People try to combine the two. Well, that is actually very much the contrary of the spirit of our true religious tradition. I could put it in another way, Mr. Wallace. I could say this. Men today, being concerned with production and consumption as ends in themselves, has very little energy, time to devote himself to the true religious experience. So
when you say the true religious experience, what do you mean by that?
I mean by that the capacity to feel deep love, deep oneness with my fellow man, with nature, and if I were religious in the conventional sense, I would say with God. But it doesn't matter whether one uses God or doesn't. What matters is which experience a person has.
Mr. Fromm, you say?
The picture that you draw is of a society, and we're talking now basically of Western society, of American society. The picture that you draw is a very dismal one. Now, one of our main concerns, let me
at the CIA.
Of course, our main concern as human beings,
CIA headquarters,
certainly in this part of the world, is to survive
as
and to stay free,
Shills,
and to realize ourselves.
Get to the point,
How does
Mr.
all that
Shill
you've said affect our ability to survive and to stay free in this world that is now in crisis?
What, Freemason?
Well, I think you touch upon a very important point here.
No, just kidding.
Namely, we must make a decision of values. If our supreme value is the development of the Western tradition, of a man for whom the highest thing in life is man, for whom love for man, respect for man, and the dignity of man